Hi guys, and welcome to today's video where we are going to talk about building a fragrance collection, and I'm going to share 5 tips, things you should avoid at all costs, things that I wanted to know starting out building my collection. And stick around for the 5th one because that one might surprise you. Oh my god, just start the video. So the first tip is actually to not overspend. And I know I'm sounding like your father here, but the truth is really you shouldn't buy above your budget. Never overspend on fragrances. In the end, a fragrance doesn't have to be expensive to smell great and to make you feel great. That's the ultimate point in collecting fragrances, is that when you're wearing it, you feel great, your confidence is boosted, you feel happy, energized, whatever vibe you're going for. It doesn't have to cost a fortune to make you feel different emotions and make you enjoy life. Ultimately, we're going for enjoyment. Second thing I wish I knew starting out my collection, and it is take your time and sample. Never ever blind buy a fragrance, always sample it. I know a lot of you guys watching will be checking out Fragrantica and Base Notes on a regular basis, and although these websites are really good to give you a general idea about how the fragrance is built, who's the perfumer, what are similar fragrances, it won't ever give you a whole picture. Get your nose on it. Never blind buy because someone made you say so. You should build a small army. Get a general, get a queen. You gotta think about different scenarios in which you want to wear a fragrance. You got to think about climate, you got to think about seasons and all of that. Now, if you live on the North Pole or you live in Texas, you basically might want to shift more towards a specific genre of fragrances anyway. But if you have like different seasons and you want to wear fragrance to work every day, but you also want fragrances to wear on a date or special occasions, then you might want to consider diversifying your fragrance collection and not splurging into a certain genre that makes you the most happy. Don't spend your entire savings on building a fresh and zesty citrusy collection. Also include maybe something else to spice it up, something to make a lasting impression on a date or a romantic dinner, or try to diversify and build a small army. Fourth thing that you should know when starting out with fragrances is never ever fall for the easy to love fragrances. Now, I know that most of you will be like, huh, what is he talking about? I shouldn't buy what I like right away just from the start. No, of course not. You have to follow your nose. And if you like a fragrance straight up, then it's probably okay to just get a bottle. But there's some fragrances that you really love at first, but you kind of lose your interest after a while. Some fragrances are the total opposite. Some fragrances I didn't like at first and I started to enjoy afterwards. I started to learn to appreciate them. So never ever completely build your fragrance collection around fragrances that you really like from the get-go. And that's something that really falls into place with the second tip that I just told you, is that you have to sample it. If a fragrance doesn't really please you just from the first tryout, maybe try it out again another day. Give it a couple of tries, unless you think it really stinks, of course. Never completely overlook the fragrances that are harder to love, because more than often I have come to the realization that these fragrances trigger my emotions more so than the ones that are easy to love, and those eventually become the fragrances that I prefer altogether and get into my ultimate Hall of Fame collection. And so for the fifth tip that I will give you today in this video, guys, is that, and this might sound contradictory to what everything else I have just explained to you, but never ever go off of a YouTuber's opinion. I'm not trying to tell you that the first 4 tips are to be ignored, because I honestly believe that those are one of the best tips that I can give you starting out. But things that I generally like might not be the things that you generally like. So you have to follow your own nose. Even if I like a certain fragrance and you have bought and enjoyed fragrances off of my advice in the past, never follow me or anyone else completely without getting your nose on it first. If you have any questions about starting out your fragrances and building up a solid collection, whether you want 5 fragrances or 500 fragrances, go for 500. But anyway, if you have any questions, put them down in the comment section below. Hope to see you soon on the next video. Peace out.